Pathmonk is the AI for website conversions. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in the buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments, relevant market experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50% by adding Pathmonk to your website in seconds, letting the artificial intelligence do all the work, and increase conversions by 50% while you keep doing marketing as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. All right, everybody, welcome to today's episode of Pathmonk Presents. Today, we are joined by Meryem Yousfi. She's the head of marketing at Sonio. Meryem, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So
Hello.
it's good to have you here, and this topic is dear to me, and especially going into a conversation about Sonio, because I have two kids, right? And we're going into our third pregnancy with my wife. So
Oh,
um, thank you so much. So I would love it if you could give us a quick rundown of what's the heart of what Sonio does, and how would you describe it to someone new?
yeah, definitely. I think Sonio, and why I joined it is because it's a company that has a mission, but really that has an impact on the real world. We can see it, and basically it has been created because, you can see that even in Europe and the US, more than 50% of malformations in babies are still missed, and these are the malformations that we can actually see in ultrasound, and that's basically our mission. So this is why Sonio has been created, is actually to give access to with all the technology and AI that we have available today, to an equal access to this to the best care for everyone around the world. And we started by creating a platform that is the documentation and reporting platform for ultrasound practitioner that helps them helps them actually include AI in their workflows, and basically that enables not only better screening of these malformations, but also early detection. So that's what Sonio does.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's gonna help so many professionals out there, I'm sure, but also just thinking about the care, for the soon-to-be parents, it's a huge one for
Yeah,
sure.
I think so. I think the idea is to be able to have this solution accessible everywhere. That's why also it has been created on the cloud. So no matter where you are, in Africa or Asia or Europe or the US, you can also have a wider access to technology and eventually better care.
Right. Makes sense. So is there a specific healthcare type of healthcare professional that you're targeting here in terms of, when we talk about marketing, in terms of your ICP, your customer profile specifically,
Yeah.
or any specific type of clinic? Um, yeah.
Yes, definitely. So I mean, our ICP is obviously hospitals and private clinics, but within that, it's the obstetrics departments of hospitals, or obstetrics clinics, smaller private practices. But yeah, uh, if we're talking about a persona as a person, it would be dependent on the country and how they practice. Some countries, like in Europe for example, you go directly to your obstetrician or doctor, and they're going to be the one also doing the ultrasound. In other countries like the US or the UK, you have a ultrasound sonographer, basically that does the exam, and a doctor that reads it afterwards. So those can be maternal and fetal medicine specialists. So these are kind of our personas that we address.
Got it. Okay. And so I'm curious, regardless of their role in the sense of, obviously drawing the differences between Europe and the US, for example, right? How would they typically find out about you? Do you have any, acquisition channels that are actually working best for you right now, or is it, something that you kind of still working on, iterating on, or?
Yes. So definitely we have different, acquisition channels, and that could be, working best for a region compared to another. So uh, like typically in the US, for example, what we use in general is well, we use, the digital space, but ironically, within the healthcare field, doctors and medicine and science are so advanced, but like they are lagging behind in everything that is digital and digitalizing the
Hmm.
hospital, etc. They don't always look at their emails. So it's funny that we need to find that balance, where to find our doctors. So basically, we do kind of half of our acquisition is through events and conferences, and we go to the medical conferences where our, target is going to be there attending. But we do a lot of digital emailing and campaigns around that, so that we do acquisition through emailing. It works for us well, but also we have with, the I don't know if you have noticed or had these conversations with your lately, but within our space, I feel like the, the digital marketing is kind of switching a little bit. And with, all the trends of AI,
Hmm.
and people researching less on Google, you have less clicks, and the AI summary is also on Google. So we have been people are looking for content, but they're not looking for content the same way they used to. So we try to create a better, more suited content for our audience, so that like webinars, with KOL, so key opinion leaders within the field, that are going to give content that is really targeted to either the doctors or the sonographers, and that's another acquisition channel that we feel works good, well for us. So today we optimize the webinars and the kind of events, and not only physical, but also like everything that we create around the events, like the campaigns,
Hmm.
emailing, ads, etc., around that event, so that we make sure that we get the attention of our audience, and that we can convert leads.
That makes a little sense. You know what? I like the fact that there are some professions, professional services, but obviously, doctors,
Yeah.
lawyers, that they still have that face-to-face type of connection that they need to have for events and things like that, shaking someone's hand, getting to
Yeah.
know someone. It's great. I love it. Personally, I don't think we always need it, but at the same time, I think it's a good way to connect with people,
Yeah,
right?
personal connections, I feel like within our field. So I worked specifically my experience in healthcare and health tech, and I see that, some trends are changing a little bit, but this specific thing about personal connection, being able to also meet with the doctors, see them, because like all the conferences, it's most of the time it's the same people attending. So being able to build on those relationships, seeing them year to year or conference to conference, really creates that bonding kind of, and that trust, and helps with even with conversions for us eventually, but with the word to mouth and creating referrals and things like that. So we do not want to, stop that, but conferences and events obviously are, very in terms of ROI, they're not as friendly as, sometimes the
Mm.
digital. So we want to keep that, but we also want to, step into the 21st century and be also very present in the digital space and be able to have a great growth model that works with marketing in the digital space.
Of course, that makes a lot of sense, because also it's more scalable, right? At the end of the day, events, as you said, are not so ROI focused.
Yeah.
Maybe they have different ways of returning that investment. But of course, it takes a lot of logistics. You need to book a venue. There's a lot of moving parts, right? So,
Yeah.
um, so staying on the digital topic, right? I want to touch on your website for a second. Um, what's the role of your website when it comes to attracting clients? As you said, they're not so maybe technologically savvy, but do you feel that maybe it has any standout strengths or areas that could be improved to help with that?
Um, Yeah, I think when specifically I think about our website, I wanted to work on a website that is optimized for conversion. So what it is really kind of the center of our conversion. So what we try to do obviously is drive traffic from the different channels. So from the emails, from the social media, from also we do PR because we're a relatively young brand, so we still need to have create this presence and have brand awareness and share of voice. So we drive all that traffic to the website, but we want the website to be where it converts.
Mhm.
And that's for me like the main goal of our website is to be able to easily give the well the person that searches for information a what we do, and be able to summarize within our messaging. In the first page it summarizes all the most asked questions. So
Mm.
of our personas, you're gonna answer those questions so that the person knows, okay, well, they do this and that, and this is what I need in a solution or not. And in each one of those we could create CTAs. But with what we touched before, people clicking less and the summaries, AI summaries and all of that, your content on your website needs to bring more value than what you're gonna find on a summary. So
Mhm.
that's why we create a lot of resources, but they are high value resources, so not something that it can be created by AI as a summary. But for example, our documentation or reporting tool helps with efficiency and optimizing workflows, better communication, and ROI. So we have ROI calculators. We create these things that use cases with other customers, etc., so that you can not only read about the value but also kind of see it in a more tangible way, I would say. And so that's the idea behind kind of the website, and it has been working great for conversion. I think if
Mhm.
there is something that we need to optimize, obviously, is well, it's how do we bring more qualified traffic. So I feel like in each website you're gonna have a lot of noise also between people that are visiting, that especially for some company that is as niche as us, and we're talking to specific ICP. But our product is also it's great. It's like prenatal, and it's for we have information about mothers and babies and ultrasound and
Right.
malformations and all of that. So the fact that we launched a product that helps detect malformations early on is going to bring a lot of attention, but maybe those are not our customers. So it's the balance also of how you create traffic but drive qualified traffic.
More quality, right? Quality over quantity. or both. Most
Yeah,
times, that'd be great.
yeah.
um,
Can't be vanity traffic. So it's not just traffic so
right,
they say, oh, wow, we look at how much traffic we have. It needs to be qualified and converts.
exactly. I'm curious, do you follow the website on your day-to-day, or is it something that maybe your team handles?
So my team handles, but I have a dashboard that we follow on our weekly marketing. So I like to look at the metrics, look at competitors, how they're doing, especially for traffic in general, but it's mostly about the sessions, qualified sessions, where people are converting, etc. So that I feel like that's very interesting for us. And also we look at the SEO results. So we even if we with the advance of AI and all the contents dropping on the internet, we try to optimize our SEO strategy so that we create more valuable contents and position ourselves on you know words and spaces that our competition is not on. So it still helps driving traffic, and that's something that I try to follow with the team each week.
Right. Okay. And I'm sure that's just one of the things that you do on your day-to-day, right? So
Yeah.
website, you'll check in, right? But I'm sure there will be a lot of, I'm assuming here, but a lot of checking in, maybe if it's not with customers, but doing research, right? About your customers, understanding them a little bit more. But maybe you can expand on that a little bit more in terms of what are the things that you do on your day-to-day?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things I work on day to day, and I think every other day it's different. But I think one of my main focuses is also how do we work with sales and with our head of sales, so we're always aligned on ICP, target accounts, and the messaging that goes to our target accounts. So with us being so fairly new company in the market, especially for example on the US market, we
Hmm.
we try to create brand awareness, but at the same time create a pipeline and grow the pipeline for sales. So how do we work together and not overlap in our with the sales team in well, first of all, targeting. Also, if we're going to, so if we have this list of accounts that are our target accounts, ideal customer profile, and we want to go after these accounts because they're, KOLs or research hospitals or things like that. How do we work collaboratively with the sales? So the marketing retargets also on ads, and we send, the our personas the right messaging, and we do nurturing, um, get the right profile. So it's that's a big part of what I do, but also, as you said, try to research trends, the most talks topics and pain points for our personas. How can we and create an editorial plan around that, so not only for PR, but how do we get the right key people to
Right.
talk to us, or create the right content for our audience, the right webinars. So yeah, it's really around strategizing that space, understanding the personas, and who are we targeting with the sales team, and having an operational plan to what is the content we create, how do we target, through which channels. um,
Miriam, that sounds like a busy day. I'll tell you
yeah.
that. I
So
mean, that is a lot, but it's interesting, especially knowing that you work closely with sales. I think it's, every head of marketing, every marketer, let's say, should strive for that because that's a great connection to have, speaking the same language, making sure that you align on things. That's really good.
yeah, I think like I feel like we where we sometimes times we fail in marketing is is this connection with sales. So for me, it's a like everyone kind of understands today that it's important, but there are some things that are more important than others, and especially getting this alignment with sales around who is your ICP. Is it like every 6 months checking in, okay, are we still targeting the same people? Okay, what is the most, we have these personas, but what are the objections that you have been handling lately? Do we have the right content to address those? Do we
Right.
have the right messaging?
Yeah.
That is this messaging present on our social media, on our website, or not? Are we answering
It's so many things, right? It's just you have to wear so many different hats and just making sure it's like the game Tetris, right? Where you have to put all the blocks, right? Sometimes it feels
exactly?
like that, I think. Okay, Meryem, since we're coming towards the end of the interview, I just want to jump right into our rapid fire questions. And the only rule here is that we allow only short and crisp answers. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm not sure
All
I'm
right.
ready, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So what's one single thing that your company is focused on at the moment?
Sorry, what one thing?
What's one thing that your company is focused on right now?
Pipeline growth.
Okay. If there are no boundaries in technology, what would be one thing that you want fixed for your role as a head of marketing?
Um, it's I think there are so many things I would like, but especially for us in our space, healthcare, I would think a better tool for qualifying leads.
Beautiful. And what's one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you could restart your journey as a marketer today?
Um, I I don't know. I think there are so many things that I would advise myself, but I think especially always the big picture. I think it's very important as marketers that we go into the details of things and analytics, etc. But I think the bigger picture and how we strategize is more important. Don't
Okay,
get
that's a
stuck
good
in
one.
the details.
Yeah. Well, Marianne, I want to thank you for being on the show with us today. If there's anything that people should remember about this interview, what's one thing that they should remember about the work you guys are doing at Sonio?
Um, I think definitely the impact that we're trying to have is the and the mission of the company is the most important. Is Sonio has been here for a short time, but we're really in 4 years we're already bringing a huge impact to and changing the market and the perception for technology in the prenatal space, and I think that's the kind of the most important to remember.
Awesome. All right, Mariam, I want to thank you again for being with us today, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for the invite.
All right, bye, everyone.
Bye.